everybody, Dr. Hill here from Advanced Animal Care Berea, and today we're going to be talking about how to choose the right food for your dog.
All right, Dr. Hill, how can I feed my dog the healthiest food for them?
Yeah, so the best place to start is to talk to your veterinarian. Some pets have special dietary requirements that your veterinarian can help you determine. Some do fine on just, food that you can get from the pet store. Some need diets for their GI tract, some need diets for their kidneys or things like that. So talking to your veterinarian first is always what's going to be recommended. But if you have a healthy dog at home, I know my personal favorite is the food that you can get over the counter made by Purina, so like their Purina 1 and Purina Pro Plan line, or even Hills, so the Hills Science Diet line, and Royal Canin has an over-the-counter line that you can get at the store as well. And the reason why I like those brands so much is that they make the veterinary diets that we prescribe for your pet. So if they have GI issues or kidney issues or liver issues or things like that, so I trust them to recommend them to you guys for your pets when they have those needs. So I trust their regular diets that are over the counter as well.
So how many times a day should I be feeding my dog?
So it really depends on the age of your dog and what they need. Most adult pets, dogs can get away with feeding once or twice a day. I feed my own dogs twice a day, morning and evening, because I think they would probably riot at my house if they didn't get dinner. But there's some dogs that do perfectly fine getting fed once a day. But sometimes when they're smaller or younger, so puppies, for instance, especially when they're really young, they benefit from more frequent smaller meals throughout the day. So it really just varies, but your veterinarian can give you the best advice.
Do I need to feed a specific diet to my dog based on breed or size?
So I think it's less necessary for their breed. I know there are some diets out there that are targeted for specific breeds, and I think that's great. Do I think that you have to feed that diet? Not necessarily. I think there's a lot of options out there that are wonderful, wonderful choices. But when it comes to the size of your pet, I think that maybe has a little bit more of importance. So you'll see a lot of like large breed or small breed recommended foods out there or branded foods out there, and what I really like about the small breed foods is the kibble size is smaller, so it's a lot easier for those guys like Coconut here, who's got a smaller mouth, to eat those small breed diets.
Yes. So what is meant by life stage nutrition?
Right, so that's going to be where if you've got a puppy, you want to make sure that you're feeding puppy food. If you've got a pet who is a year or older, then you want to feed adult food. And then we kind of start that whole geriatric classification around 7 or 8 years of age. And so sometimes our older pets have issues with maintaining weight or keeping weight on. And so you'll see some senior pet diets out there as well for when they reach that 7 or 8 year old mark.
All right. So what is the most important information I need to look at on dog food bags or cans for ingredients and nutritional values?
Right, so the thing that I would have you look at before that would be making sure that there's an AAFCO statement on your pet food. That's AAFCO, I believe, AAFCO. And basically what that means, so they are a national organization that makes sure that the pet food is saying what it is and that it has all of the proper ingredients and nutrition and dietary needs that your pet needs for a good, healthy life. So making sure that statement's on there is recommended. And then, you definitely want to look at the ingredients list and making sure that you're comfortable with feeding what's in the ingredients list. And then from there, in terms of calories or protein percentages or carbohydrate percentages or things like that, I wouldn't stress out too much about that. There's some situations where we need to be a little particular about that, but for the average healthy pet, it's not a big deal.
My last question is, do the ingredients of treats matter when choosing a flavor or brand?
Yeah, so I always recommend to my clients staying away from anything that kind of has a pork product in it, just because that tends to be what causes the most GI upset in my experience. So really that's the only thing I would caution you to. The other things too, things like xylitol, which is used as an artificial sweetener in some human things like peanut butter, making sure you don't see that on the label or anything that could be considered toxic to your pet. So you want to make sure you're not seeing any garlics, onions, chocolate, raisins, grapes, anything like that on those ingredient labels. But other than that, you should be okay.
All right, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.